Hello everyone, welcome to this beautiful space. My name is Margaret Kimani. Thank you for making time. Thank you for taking the time to click on this particular video. And as you've seen from the description box, we are discussing a very interesting topic today, and it's about time. I always want to talk about time for one reason or the other. I feel inclined to talk about it. So today we are gonna be asking the question to you and to our guest today: is it too late? The reason why we chose this particular topic today is because we realize that in some way, the society and even ourselves, we feel like we are running out of time. Many are the times that we feel like, you know what, it's like I'm running out of time. When it comes to age, when it comes to career, when it comes to so many things, our relationships, there comes a moment in our lives where we feel like we are running out of time. And every one of us has felt that way. If you're not feeling so right now, maybe at some point you will feel that way. So we are here to try and answer that particular question: is it too late? And just dive into the conversation. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. Your subscription will go a long way in helping us grow as a community. And I am not doing it alone today. I have a familiar face. She's here. She has blessed us with her presence again, and we are so delighted to have her. Help me in welcoming our beautiful, our meticulous, our smiley guest. Help me rather. Welcome none other than Belinda Melvin. Maybe for the person who is seeing you for the first time, because I know from our last conversation, maybe we have new subscribers. So for the person who is seeing you for the very first time, kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, good people. My name is Belinda Melvin. Belinda is a sister. Belinda is a daughter. Belinda is a journalist. Belinda is a trainer. Belinda is a content creator. And today, as we create content with Margaret, I'm honored to be here today and to talk matters timing, because, hey, timing again. So I'm so happy and I'm excited about this particular topic because I've been a victim of timing. So I'm eager to share my experience and also get to hear from you guys. Like Maggie just said, have you ever been in a position where you felt that you're running out of time or you're missing out on something?
Most of the time, and I'll start with my own experience. I recently turned a year older. Maybe I wouldn't mention the age, because if you're a woman, you don't talk about your real age. I recently turned a year older, and since then, subconsciously, I have been battling the thoughts of, you know what, maybe time is running out for me. I haven't done much. I haven't enjoyed my youth. And now I am no longer a youth. Oh my God, age is catching up. I am still a youth, but you know what? You're not as young as you were. Your age is, catching up with you, like you've said. So, and that has been, on my mind a lot lately. And I have been feeling like, you know what? Time is not on my side. I need to be doing serious work. I need to be, figuring things out, figuring out my career. I need to be figuring out husband. Even if I don't want to think about it, I need to be figuring out husband. I need to be figuring out whether I want babies. And all those things are coming. Are coming. And I don't know why. I'm trying to sit down with my thoughts and ask myself why. Why such things are coming to my mind right now. And one thing that has been constant on my mind, or something that I have been reminded, is that regardless of the age, and I don't know, before I even go to what I'm doing to mitigate that, I would want to ask you, our guest, is there a point in your life? I know Can I say it?
Just say.
Okay. She's in her early 30s and she has gone through the age I'm in right now. And she has been actually the person telling me, you know what, you're actually too young to start, worrying about such things. And she's been very she's been very impactful in telling me, you know what are you even worried about? And maybe tell us in your early 30s, because I know there's a lot that the society has impounded on us, especially as women. You must achieve this by a certain age. Was there a point in your life that you felt like, you know what, hey, sina time.
You're
Time is
asking.
running.
You're asking. That's obvious.
It's a statement. Okay.
So I think there was a time actually. I turned 30 a few months ago. Yeah. So there was a time.
A year ago.
Few months. It's November. It's not even a year.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's how many months? 6 months ago.
You turned 30.
I turned 30.
Oh, okay.
So there was a point in life when I was even scared of reaching 30. You know, there are moments when, actually, by the way, being 30, it's not a dreadful thing. It's just, we normally say age is just a number.
Hey,
but
it gets to a point where you feel like it's no longer a number.
Yeah, so I'm coming to that. So there was a time, I think when I was in my 27th year, hey, Smee was just thinking each and every time, oh, I'm almost turning 30, I haven't done this. To some point, I remember there was a time, I was having a conversation with my dad, and I remember telling him, me right now, I feel so bad from where I am right now. I'm not even in a position to fend for myself. I can't provide for myself. I'm still like depending on you to cater for my needs, which it's terrible because it should be the other way around and not like. So I'm also like, I'm almost hitting 30. I'm not married. I don't have a family. I don't know what. And again, you know, we have those pressures that do surround you. Maybe you're going back home and then we have your aunties, they're asking you, you do not have a baby. Remember last year, before now turning 30, a friend of mine invited me to go and assist him in shooting a video, shooting a wedding. So I went there because I've never done an event, a shooting of an event. So I was also learning in the process. So we were there, and then I met an old friend of my mom. Way back when we were still in Nairobi, before shifting back to Shanks, I've never seen him before. That is 10 plus years. And then do you know the first thing she's asking me? Because I was the one who approached her. And I was like, Kai, Christine, rafiki ya mam, sasa ananiambia haya, Belinda, umekuwa mkubwa. And then the next point after umekuwa mkubwa, ananiuliza uko na watoto wangapi?
Oh my God. Oh, that's
even just
crazy.
Catching up and maybe asking, how is your mom doing?
Yes.
How is she?
Oh God.
How is life? The first thing was, uko na watoto wangapi? So when sharing with my sister again, because we normally gist one another, and then she was like, if she saw you, and she asked about babies. She asked if you had how many babies you have.
Yeah.
And then she was like, hey, when they see me, what will they say? Because I look older than you. So what will they say? They will look at me and they will start judging me, and I'm not even where you are right now. So these pressures, they are there. I felt that to some point. There was a point when I felt that I was missing out on something. Before reaching 30, I was too harsh for myself, because the people that are surrounding you, maybe you're feeling like, oh, the friends that we completed school with them, they're doing fine for themselves, and then there's me. But there's one thing that I came to learn along the journey. I should trust the timing. The fact that they're there doesn't mean I can't be where they are. They are there, I'm here. The difference between them and I, it's tea, and that tea, it's time that we are discussing today.
Okay. So, have you ever even minus now what people are asking you, you yourself? Did you feel like the pressure now to start even looking for relationships, to start even wanting to build a family, all those things that people put pressure on you for. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, to some point I felt, but again, out of pressure. I once dated out of pressure
Oh, wow.
because the
Okay.
circle of friends
Yes.
that I was with, I know if they come across this, they just know
Yeah.
themselves. So
Yeah.
the circle of friends that I had
Yes.
back then, I think I was the odd one out, and I felt that I'm the odd one out
Oh, wow.
because they had their significant others, they had
yeah.
their people, and then there was me, their friend there. Nobody, you're just there. When people come, you turn them down. You feel like I don't know. But to some point, I felt that, yeah, because I told you it reached to a juncture when I had to share with my dad and my mom. I told them I felt like life is not like things. They're not just adding up.
They're not
And
aligning
then,
to how
they're
you
not
want
aligning
them.
with how I wanted them to align, because I'm like, like again, you used to say when I reach at this age, I'll be having this, and now this age now is catching up with you, and you haven't achieved any of the
Even
things
half
that you
of the
had.
things
Yeah.
that you said you
Yeah,
would
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you, we all had dreams growing up, and sometimes, like I was talking in another her podcast or her YouTube channel, and I was saying the age I'm in right now, I should have been in a very, very good anchoring career, news anchoring career, or somewhere, I'm known, I'm well known, I'm a good, well-known journalist. I am doing all these things. I am now getting ready to have my babies, but the reality now catches up. The reality now catches up and hits you so hard. And maybe to ask, do you think or do you feel that the society we are living in today is putting pressure on us, especially as women?
Yeah, it
As
is.
women.
It is, because come to think of it now, hey, we are far away from Christmas celebration, but even the Easter is upcoming. Maybe we have those who will be going back to celebrate the Easter holiday with their family. You are there. It just starts with the people around you. Kwani wewe hauna mtu? Unatuletea mjukuu lini? It clocks.
Yeah.
It clicks your mind.
It clicks,
that, hey,
yeah.
age is catching up with you.
Yeah.
So the society itself, it does. In as much as we also like play a role in it.
Yeah.
Because remember, this time nobody had told me that, oh, you're the odd one out. I just felt like, hapa kuna venye,
kuna vile
so the society one, because you'll find like the example that I was giving you, I'm meeting this friend of my mom. We haven't like seen each other for a very long 10 plus years, almost 20, but the only thing that she's asking is, how many kids do you have? And sometimes the pressure becomes too much, to a point that you find that maybe now, let's say you are dating, you're meeting this person, you have already like officiated things, you're starting life together. So you're just like, you want to enjoy life before you start bringing kids on this earth. But the society expects you, once you're married, the next thing we are expecting from you, it's a kid. So you find that people need to be very mindful, especially with their words, because somebody asked, Magi, bado hujapata mtoto? Kwani mnafanyanga nini? You see, so wakisha bring you question hamjapata mtoto, they do not know maybe if you are struggling with something.
Yes,
you
sure,
see,
sure.
maybe you have tried, but it's not.
It's not
and
working.
Also the timing, maybe it's not the right time to have that particular kid. So to answer your question, yes, the society does put the pressure
on you.
Yeah.
And I think the generation we are living in, we are kind of trying to jump off that bridge of doing what everyone else is doing. We are trying to be our own people. But even in becoming our own people, I feel like are we really forgetting that we we should be doing this? Do you think we are forgetting that we should be maybe having families, or we are shifting now our priorities from what the society now wanted us to be to now wanting to do just to be? Do you think that we are getting to a point where we are choosing to forget that, you know what, or we have that attitude of, not caring anymore? Like for you,
I think
what's the major reason why you maybe are where you are right now?
That's a tough one.
I know. It's
Because
it
I
is.
can't even place an answer to
Yeah.
that where I am right now.
Is it out of, not caring? Ile ya, you know what? I don't care what my parents say. I am the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. And there's another who would say, no, I am actually choosing to focus on this and this first. You know what? Yeah.
So I'll just say we are not forgetting about anything. It's just that priorities are the ones that we are focusing on our priorities, because nowadays you find that it's not like back in the days. Back in the days, even our parents, if I try to see, I think I'm half, not half, but my mom had me in her 20s. So there was a time I was also figuring out. At 20, I was in campus. So meaning, if I had like decided I want to get married earlier, what am I even trying to say?
Like if you had taken the same route, like your mom had taken, yes, it would have been different.
Maybe by then, I wouldn't have like focused with my studies or because when you decide that you decide you want to have your family at the age that they had, now in this generation that you are in, then there's a lot that needs to be done, because you have to, again, maybe you have to serve one master, and then the other one has to stay on hold until you are. Of course, we have those who know how to navigate through that, because I've even had friends back in uni who had kids, and while graduating, while we are graduating with just one degree, they had like 2 degrees, a husband, a kid,
and a baby.
Sure. So I don't think if we are forgotten, because if you ask me, I still believe
you will
I want to be a very good wife to somebody's sons out there. I'd want to be a very good mom to my kids, and I'd love to see my family.
So the dream is still there.
The dream is
still there.
It's still there. It's just a matter of timing. Maybe timing. My timing.
So what I'm hearing from you, what I'm getting from this, what I'm getting from all this is that we are no longer allowing time to dictate when we do things. And that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And just to even give examples, there are women out here, or even people, even men, who have chosen the same paths as us, as you, and they are saying, I still have the dream of having a family, but there are other things, other priorities. Maybe I want to do my career. Maybe I want to, prioritize on other things, like my own journey to wellness or something else. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is so, so beautiful. Maybe when we talk about something like family, there is that fear of that, especially for women, there's something we call biological clock. And whether we like it or not, whether we want to defy the odds or not, that one, especially when it comes to childbearing, because according to science, I was doing my research as I was preparing for this.
Okay.
Yes, according to science, this is from Healthline. It says that your risk for developing conditions that can negatively impact fertility, like tubal disease, endometriosis also increase as you get older. And they are saying that your fertility begins to gradually decline at around the age of 35. No, let me see that. At around the age of 35 and 37, you're going down. No, at around the age of your 32s there. And then when you get to 35 and 37, your fertility begins to drop more quickly. And they are saying that your chance of getting pregnant decreases as you get older. After as you're they are saying this, there's a statistic they've done that your chance of getting pregnant when you're age 25, after that is after you have tried like once, twice, thrice. After that, your likelihood of conceiving at the age of 25 is at 18%. 30, when you're at 30, it's at 16%. When you're 35, 12%. When you're at 40, 7%. That's science. That's not us. That's not us. Of course, there are other factors. There are other factors that come in play, especially when it comes to your lifestyle, the environment you're in. So maybe do you because now
Yes,
we
please.
can't, even if we want to stay. I think this is a generation, and I've had countless people, even on TikTok, wanasema, I would want to, they are going for what we call permanent ways. They are looking for permanent ways of ensuring they don't get kids. Then number 2, kuna wengine wanasema, you know what, I want to have to have other ways of not having kids right now, and they're looking for solutions. Many women are taking up that particular road. Why do you think that's the case? For example, why many young women out here between the ages of 20, I think it's from 23 or 22, from as early as 22, I've seen women or girls make those decisions, or say they have made those decisions to be child-free. I saw a documentary, or was it? Yeah, it was a documentary by BBC, where they said why Kenyan women, or I don't know, I don't remember the name very well, why Kenyan women are now taking the route of being child-free. Being child-free. So why do you think that most of us, this generation, yenye tuko sahi, we are choosing, and I think this is the generation that will have the most women who are saying no to getting kids. What do you think about that?
That one, I don't even know how to put it.
Yeah.
One, I think the generation that we are in right now, by the way, I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
But what I know nowadays, even if you say that people want to be child-free, it's because, number one, you know the struggle that comes when you're pregnant. A lot comes with pregnancy. You'll find out that most of us, we fear. You see, when you become pregnant, those hormonal changes, blah blah blah. Others, you're being told that when you give birth, once you have given birth, maybe if you were pregnant, maybe before pregnancy you were a petite lady, and now when the baby comes in, we have those baby fats and stuff, blah blah blah. So you don't want it. You want some, they want kids, yes, but they don't want the process. You see
The changes that the body changes.
The changes that come with it. So you find that you think about what pregnancy comes with, and you're like, no, I'm not going through that. I don't want that. There was a day back in uni, I guess, a namesake of mine, called Belinda also. She was like, she was pregnant back then, and then she was like, me, there's no way I'm going through the pain of giving birth.
Yeah.
So do you know what she opted for? She went for CS instead of just giving the natural way. It's because she was like, me, don't have. I go give birth, and then down there.
But I think it's
Who can
just okay.
serve?
There's yeah.
We just have that cafe of unknown. Yeah, we just
It's not
hear.
unknown. It is known that your body changes.
Mm-hmm.
Your body just changes with childbirth. Childbirth changes a lot for a woman.
But it's
Your way
not
of
the
thinking,
same. It's
your
not the
way.
same.
Yeah, it's not the
It's not
same
the
for
same
everyone.
for everyone. You see.
But
So-
now there are those who are choosing not to have babies because, and I think it's for selfish in a good way, selfish reasons. That, you know what, I don't want to bring a child in a world where, you know, the world is full of chaos. That is one reason. Others are saying, I just don't want. I don't have a reason. Like the BBC story I was telling you about, it was done this year, early this year. That is 23rd of February this year. That is last month, actually. Yeah, last month. They're saying the Kenyans saying no to motherhood and yes to sterilization. Sterilization is a procedure that is done. So for one woman by the name Nelly Naisula Sironka, she has never wanted children, and she made an irreversible decision. She's 28, by the way. 28, that she'll never get pregnant. So she took the definitive step of undergoing a sterilization procedure known as tubal ligation. So you just cut the tubes, yeah. And she says she felt liberated.
Free.
Oh my God, she felt liberated, and she doesn't have to. She said that, you know what, it's because she said that I interacted with women's life stories that didn't feature children at all, and it made me realize that a life like this was possible. She just didn't want kids.
And I think
They don't have a reason. They just want to live a child-free life.
And you know, when a baby is involved, it means we have the sleepless nights.
Yeah.
There. Like the baby comes with a lot of
A
responsibilities
lot.
and commitment, and you have to be. You know, there are different styles of parenting. So if you are not intentional with parenting this kid that you have birthed on this earth, then it means later on the kid might be having issues because again, you understand, even after pregnancy, you have already like delivered. There's this depression known as postpartum depression. Because let's say if you're a first time mom, you do not know what you're going to do, so you're there overwhelmed. You don't know, like there's a lot. There are lots of things that they're clicking on your mind. They're screaming. You feel like you're on your own. Maybe let's say you are doing it single-handedly. Your parent is not there. What?
The baby daddy is not there.
Yeah. So you figure out that even if you have this kid, no one is there to help you. Like ulisema ni kugo.
Yeah,
Kushogia. So maybe you find in midnight she's up, she's crying. You don't know what.
But some don't even have a reason. Like now, the women I've read about in that report, they don't have a reason. They just don't want. There's no particular reason. The responsibility. No, when they ask, they say it's not really the responsibility. But now that's beside the whole point of, you know what, time. Some people, you know, are saying that even if I'm running out of time, there are options. There are options. For example, you can freeze your eggs. I've had women talk of, you know what, I am now 35. Even content creators out here, they are saying, you know, I'm 35, but now I'm taking the option of, you know, freezing my eggs. Freezing your egg means that you're storing them away. They are extracted from your body, that is from your ovary. They are like harvested from your body, and then they are stored away in a, of course, facility. And then when you're ready, then you get either a sperm donor or someone you know. They come and fertilize it. Then you can carry it you yourself or through a surrogate. So I think saying that you know, we are getting late even for, you know, things such as, or issues such as, you know, childbirth, things have changed. Science has changed things, but not everyone has the money for that. Not everyone has that knowledge. Not everyone has that knowledge. And then again, there is also another one, another issue revolving around time, career. What did you? Let me start by asking this. What did you want to become while growing up?
I wanted to become a lawyer.
A lawyer.
But along the way, still in high school, I actually changed. I changed my career from now being a lawyer to a journalist.
Wow. So you are in the field that you've always wanted to.
Yeah. But let me tell you, before going there, I think it was again the support from my parents.
Oh, okay.
Because when I was selecting, I want to do journalism. You see, when you're done now, you want to select, you see, whatever course that you want. I wanted journalism. But again now, the friends of my dad, you see, when maybe you have your parents, maybe before whenever they just meet, they're sharing, my daughter is doing this, my son is doing this, blah, 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 blah. So she said, my daughter has applied, she wants to do journalism. And they're like, hey, why should she do that? She should choose a career that she's guaranteed of job.
Job security.
Once she's done, she's sure she's going to get a job. So I think back then, people were like, you're going to tarmac. And now with the title, of course, it's all about timing. So these were my words back then. And they were echoed by my parents. I told them, timing, it's different for different people.
Wow.
So the fact that Maggie tarmacked doesn't mean that I will tarmac.
Yeah.
And you see, your words will always become your reality.
Sure.
Whatever that you speak, it's like you are planting a seed. One day it will germinate. And so my words back then are now my reality, because if you ask me if I've ever tarmacked, no. Because after school, I got myself an internship. Thereafter, I was absorbed
into the job market.
So I was there, and then when I felt like I needed a break, I didn't stay for long. Now I got the job that I'm doing right now. So if you ask me if I've ever tarmacked, then I'll say no. And that's as a result of the words that I spoke years back. You see,
are you where you envisioned yourself in, like, for example, while you had that dream in high school, are you there?
No,
you are not there. And do you feel like it's too late?
It's not
to
too
get
late.
there.
It's not too late. Even at 50, I can be where I want. I can be where I want to. Yeah. In as much as I'm not where I envisioned myself, because just like you, I wanted to see myself in this big media station. But now I'm not there. But I'm glad, I'm very grateful. Whatever that I'm doing now, at least it's in line
with what you're... Sure.
I'm still in the industry.
Yes.
Though now not
practicing fully. Yes. I think I also knew. I sort of always knew I would get into such a career, journalism. That had always been on my mind, actually, in high school. I was saying, other careers to cover it up, to marinate and seem like, you have a good choice. But now, at the back of my mind, I always knew this is what I want. This is what I want with my whole heart. Now, whatever I'm doing today, even right now, whatever I'm doing right now, I have always envisioned myself doing exactly this, but not maybe in the capacity that I am doing it right now. But this is the dream. This is the dream I had always wanted. Maybe in the not in the same capacity. And someone said to me, or I saw somewhere, as long as the clock is still ticking, each and every single day, starting over and doing it in life, you can do it at any given point. Starting over is a matter of, hata ukiwa 50, hata ukiwa 60. Look at the people or the likes of the people who started. I know it's cliche, we hear it every day, but those are good examples to use. The people or the person who started KFC, He started it at the age of what? 40. Yeah. I have so many examples I can give here. I had prepared a whole
list.
PowerPoint presentation. Let me tell you guys. To tell you that it's not too late. It's a myth. It's a myth. So we have Colonel Sanders, not even 40, 65, my friend, 65. Started KFC at 65. We have other people. Stan Lee. Stan Lee is known for creating the best films or the best movies the world has ever seen. That is Marvel. Yes. At the age of 39. 39. How old I am? I'm in my 20s and I'm here worried that, you know what? I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Reaching 30.
Imagine. We had Samuel L. Jackson, who had his big break at 46. We had Grandma Moses, started painting at the age of 78. So, and the reason, some of the reasons why it's like never too late. Now, minus even all the examples. Minus all the examples. Okay, the fact that these people made it at this age is not an excuse for you not to put in the work. What I'm saying is, as long as you're putting in the work, as long as you're doing what you love, and you're trying each and every day to redefine yourself, we are saying that your big break is gonna come. Your big break is gonna come.
And it's just a matter of
yes.
time.
Yes. And let me tell you, maturity, like I have known, when we say that kuishi kwingi ni kuona mengi, and as you get older, you get more wiser, it is actually true. Because I have seen how the 20-year-old me was reasoning. My God, I want to go back and hug that girl. Because how she was reasoning, she would be marveled at how now the 20-something year-old me is reasoning today. Is reasoning today. They would be, marveled. She would be marveled at how much change time actually does. And maturity and all those things, experience, they come with age. There are things you can't do right now because you still haven't experienced life enough to be able to actually experience them and to do them. You are still not yet mature enough maybe to handle certain situations. So that is why I'm saying, in as much as we are feeling like it's getting too late, the clock is ticking for us, and all those things, I think as long as you're doing
to start.
How I feel about this thing is that as long as you're doing something, as long as there's something you're doing. Because even those who say that, you will tarmac, when I finished school, I thought, I'd get absorbed into the job market immediately and find a job. That didn't happen for I think a year. I think a year after I graduated, I didn't get a job. But I wasn't doing nothing. I said, I was doing online stuff. I had soft skills that enabled me in this world to, sort of, make money and do something for myself. So, as long as you're doing something, as long as kuna kitu unafanya, as long as si tu umekaa tu, again, life will catch up with you kama hakuna kitu unadu. By the way, that has to be unafaa msikize those young people who are feeling, it's catching up with me. The reason why you might be feeling that way is because if you sit and wait for things to happen, you're not constantly chasing that particular dream, then it's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen.
In other words, you're trying to say, in as much as things they're not making sense, do something. At least give God something to work with.
Exactly. Whatever you believe in, we were saying in another episode, whatever you believe in, whether you believe in the universe, whether your form of spirituality, there has to be things you're doing. And I've read a book called The Alchemist, and in The Alchemist, Paul Coelho, it's written by Paul Coelho, and Paul Coelho says that whenever you want something and you really, really want something, the whole universe the whole universe comes together or merges together to help
make
you
sure,
achieve that dream. Now, if you are a believer like myself and, my beautiful friend here, you know that when you pray for something, God will make it happen.
Yeah.
And you're really, really working and you're hoping on it, God will make it happen at his own time. Even in the Bible imeandikwa, at his own time, he makes everything beautiful.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11.
Yes, he makes
Everything
things beautiful.
Yeah, and even in Isaiah 60 verse 22, when the time is right, I the Lord will make it happen. So it's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of
Even
time.
if you're not a believer in Christianity, there's something, whatever you believe in, you know that whenever you're doing something, as long as you're putting in the work, as long as you're putting in, I think that is the reminder.
Yeah.
Because even as I was, venting, I was venting to my AI bot. I have a very unhealthy relationship with my AI bot. And I was venting the other day to my, my God. I was venting to my AI bot and saying, you know what, I feel like, I'm not where I want. And you know what the bot told me? So what are some of the things that you want to do? For example, what are some of the things that you want to achieve? And I wrote down, this is what I feel like I should be doing. And then the chat asked me, or the bot asked me, so what are you currently doing? Imagine AI bot asking me that. So it asked me, now what are you currently doing? And I told the bot I'm doing A, B, C, D. And it told me, you are actually doing something. All you need is actually direction. So what you're having a problem with is not that things are not happening. All you need now is direction. So you might be juggling all these things, but what you actually need is actually direction. Because now, for example, I was telling my AI bot, I'm doing content. I want to do this type of content. Now, currently, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. I'm teaching this, and it actually, got to a point where I was like, oh, that's actually true. What I need is actually direction, just to align things to actually what they are meant to be. So I think for us, we beat ourselves up so much.
So harsh.
We are so harsh on
ourselves.
Guy.
If there's that one thing that I actually learned in my 20s, I was so harsh on me because I haven't achieved, I haven't done this. And then I think that aspect of timing, I was reminded by my parents. It's just a matter of time. Because, like I said, I was so harsh, and then I would tell them, I feel like I should be doing this. I feel like I should be here, but I'm not there. You see,
I'm glad that you had your parents.
Yeah, so I always sometimes when I feel like I'm type away, I'll just vent and tell them this is how. But at that particular time, that's how I felt, because I felt like I'm working. I'm not bearing fruits. And in as much as you work, there needs to be fruits that you're seeing. At least something is coming out from whatever that you're doing. And for my case, it wasn't happening that way. So I felt like things, they're not going the way I wanted them to go. And now seems like I'm being left behind. You see, I'm behind life. This is what other people are doing and stuff. And again, it came to my realization that if I start comparing myself with other people,
that is where the problem is coming in. Because, especially in our generation.
Yeah, because right now, I want to go to Nairobi, but I'm going to Nairobi. When people are aligning from that bus, we find that others will align at Juja, others Ruiru, Roysambu, Githurai, like that. So when the passengers who were meant to align at Roysambu, when they're coming out of that bus, that's not my destination, it's their destination. So what I learned is, whenever I'm traveling, I can't go where other people are going, because if you're going to Githurai, You see, that's your destination, it's not mine. So I should focus and wait until when the bus will arrive to my destination. So that's how I view life nowadays.
Wow.
I just tell myself, that's not my destination.
Yeah,
I have
sure.
to focus on my destination.
True.
And on the point that you were saying that at least you're doing something, when I quit my first job from the media industry, I told myself, I used to have a channel back then, but that channel wasn't meant for content creation. It was just there as a backup of my work.
Wow.
So that when I see my work, where I am today and how I started, I just look at it and appreciate
it's
the
like
journey.
a documentary.
Yeah, so it was just there for me to just track how I started and where I am.
Versus where you are.
Yeah. So when I left, I told myself, okay, now I'm leaving. What am I going to do? And I told myself, if in the near future I won't be able, I won't be in a position, or rather I won't be absorbed in any media house, then I'll make that channel my media house. And that's why I'm doing content. In as much as I'm not in the industry, but I feel at peace. Nowadays I'm practicing even journalism with my channel. Yeah, true. I can do it most of the time. Yeah, and it gives me joy. At least I'm doing something. I'm doing something with that.
Thank you for that. And maybe to add on to what you've said about the destination and maybe looking and comparing, you can look. We are not saying don't look at what other people are doing.
In fact, it's good.
It's very, very good to look at what people are doing, especially the people in your age group, because sometimes, like I said, what the AI bot told me, all I need is direction. Sometimes direction can come from what another person is doing. You can actually say, oh, actually, I can try this. So if this one doesn't work, maybe you see another thing from another person and you're like, let me try this. So they can give you direction. So we are not saying that don't compare, but what I have seen with even online, especially online spaces, they keep saying, for example, on TikTok, you're giving people so much of your time. Why don't you become content creators yourself? And some keep telling others, sisi wote hatuwezi kuwa dancers. Whereas there are people who have danced and they have made a career out of it. They have made a career out of it. So maybe if it's not dancing, what they are trying to say is look for something else you can do on that particular space.
Find your niche.
Find your niche on that particular space. And I think that is where I'm at right now in my life, finding my niche. But one thing I've always wanted is to have and curate discussions around issues in life. And another thing now, to echo on what you've just said here, that you're able to create content and you're able to even shift your career from the way it's supposed to traditionally go, that you're supposed to be in this big media station, and now you're utilizing the virtual space and creating, now becoming the journalist you are meant to be. Is now informing us of the power that we have right now as young people with the technology coming up. I was teaching my students the other day, we are learning a unit called Convergent Journalism, where now we are merging everything together. The online space is going to be the biggest revolution that we'll have in our time. The biggest revolution of our time. Because right now everyone will be able, we have this other world. We have this other world of virtual reality where we are able to become creators ourselves. We do not have to wait, for the other world, that is now the real world, to create opportunities for us. We now have a space where now it is us who create now those opportunities there. You're getting. And as I was thinking of my dream, I've always told people, or told myself, that I want to have the biggest talk show, or the biggest talk show ever.
Laughing because
like
I
the
feel
one.
like we are.
Yes, aligning. I want to have the biggest talk show where I'm able to curate discussions. And matters. I'm able to interview people. I'm able to have discussions with, people out here.
You're able to give voice to the voiceless.
I'm still able to practice. And I feel like that's my calling. That's where I'm called. That's what I'm called to do, to have these types of conversation. And now all I have to do right now, according to my chatbot, is get a direction.
Yeah.
Is get a direction.
And
Is
you'll
to
get
start
it.
to start small.
Yeah.
You have to start small.
Yeah.
And I think hapo sasa ndio huwa tunakuwa hatuna patience.
Na timing.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yes.
Timing requires you to be patient.
Exactly.
And the generation
But
that
the
we are
patience
in
is a byproduct of time.
Yeah.
Hey.
So we need patience because no one started big. Okay, we have those who started big. We can't dismiss
And it's
that
because
fact.
maybe their environment enabled them.
enabled them. But you have to start.
I think hapo
Start
sasa.
with whatever that you, because if you ask me with content creation, when I left the industry, I didn't even have like, let's say, a laptop or what. I just had my phone.
Yeah.
So I told myself, what are you? I just like reminded myself the way God asked Moses, what do you have?
What do you have in your hands?
Yeah. So I had these. And in that process, I even learned about these apps, editing softwares,
Yes.
that you can just edit them at the
On your
comfort of your phone.
phone.
So I started like looking at tutorials because now I'm used to the Premiere Pro. Now I had to do that.
Because information is out here.
Yeah.
I keep telling my students whenever I'm teaching them, I'll keep making reference to my students.
Exactly.
I am a trainer. So I keep telling them, we live in the information age.
Yeah.
We live in the information age. And what now that means is that you cannot afford to live in ignorance and say, I cannot do this. While we live in the information age, you cannot afford to say. For example, you even go to a job. You know very well you can do this job, but there's parts of that job that you know, you're not sure. Whenever you're not sure, we live in the information age. There are so many sources of information out here. So many sources of information. And all you have to do is just equip yourself with that information.
True.
Equip yourself with that information. We are still learning. Myself, I'm still learning.
And learning never stops.
And learning
never stops.
Life is about learning and relearning.
Relearning. It's a continuous
it's
process.
a continuous process. And I think later on we are gonna start a series of what are you learning, what are you unlearning.
And you did. I think it's also in my bucket list.
Wow! Look at that, guys. It's like we are meant to be together.
It's in my bucket list because I realized that when we talk about learning, there are things that we are learning, there are things that we are relearning, and there are things that we are
unlearning. And the unlearning part is hard. It's so hard to unlearn something.
It's so hard, very.
For example, like I was saying about the issues of kids. When we were growing up, we were taught that, kids, you have to have kids. You must. It is a must. It is a command. We are commanding you to have babies. But now, you have to, if situations do not allow you, you have now to unlearn that and now learn that it is not a must. It is not a must. It is not maybe motherhood is not for everyone.
Yeah.
There are some of us who maybe motherhood is not for us. And that doesn't mean that we can't give to the world in other ways. It just means that I cannot give to the world as a mom. You see? Because we say motherhood is a calling. Motherhood is part of a calling. Yeah, so those are some of the things. I know it's a harsh reality. It's a very harsh reality that I myself, I'm not even sure whether it has stuck on my mind. But all I know is that it's a harsh reality that we, at some point, have to consider.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe as we come to a where? My village people
Your village people
are summoning me. Not today. Maybe I would want to ask you, even the people who are at home, what's one thing you've been putting off because you think it's too late? Maybe what's that one thing that you've been putting off because you think it's too late? Do let us know in the comment section. I know the discussion is way too big than time would allow us to have. And but then again, we have to start somewhere. Like we said, we have to start somewhere. Maybe starting with this discussion was starting somewhere. So thank you, Belinda, for
you
coming
so
through.
much
Always
for having
always
me.
pushing me. She has been very, very instrumental in helping me come up with this particular even channel. Okay, I've had the
You
dream.
had the channel.
I had the channel, but now working on it, even creating content, she has been pushing me, telling me, you know what, put that content, regardless of how it looks. Just post.
It will get better with
Yeah,
time.
it will get better with time. Those are her exact words. And I remember I was doing it and, feeling some type of way, why do I have to do this? But then I remembered my dream. I recently just, it's like an aha moment. Remembered, oh my God, actually, you can even actually do and turn this page into something more useful for you. So thank you guys for taking the time to click on the video, watching till this moment. If you are listening to this right now, it means you watched the whole thing. So I give you all my gratitude. Asanteni sana. Thank you to our guest for watching. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please ensure that you do. She also has a YouTube channel at Belinda Melvin. You go there, interact with her content. I also make cameo appearance on her channel. So please ensure you go and watch. And to our beautiful producer, our beautiful director behind the scenes, Muthoni, we do not take it for granted. This work, by the way, behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes on. Let me tell you, it takes time to set up this thing. Oh my God. Please ensure you help us by subscribing. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.